What is up, everyone? Today, oops, give me a second. What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. Actually, let me grab this so you guys can hear me a little better. How is everyone doing? Okay, so this is an hour or so when you can come in, ask any questions that you have about dropshipping. Just join us in the live chat, ask your questions in there, and I will do my very best to answer those questions for you. I started dropshipping over 5 years ago now, and I've been teaching people how to do it for over 4 years. I have a ton of videos here on YouTube about how to dropship on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on those and future videos. But let's jump into the chat, see who's here, and see what questions you all have for me about dropshipping and how I might be able to help you guys out. Cool. All right. Just got the confirmation that my mic is good. Let's see. Sabrina says, "Hi, Paul. Did you have a good 4th of July?" It was pretty good, pretty quiet, to be honest. Didn't really do too much. Honestly, I was doing work, so yeah, but that's it. On Sunday, though, I did go to an animal farm sanctuary where they go and like rescue animals. Really cool. Got to hang out with some pigs, some goats, some sheep. So it was a lot of fun. All right. Sabrina has a really good question saying, "Hey, I just posted my first item on Facebook Marketplace. I received 5 to 10 messages from scammers asking for my phone or address. Text is always the same. That I'm not sure if this is eBay or Facebook Marketplace, but you do see scammers on both. On eBay, the telltale sign that you see scammers, and I think I'll make a whole video about this. I got to remember to make a whole video about scams and how to avoid them when you're selling on these different marketplaces. But usually on eBay, what you'll see is the person reaches out to you and they want to do the transaction off of the marketplace. So like off of eBay or off of Facebook Marketplace. Excuse me. So that's like the number one sign that something is wrong there, because Facebook, eBay, Amazon, when you sell in these places, Etsy, all of them, they have protections built in. So as long as you ship the customer the item, upload a tracking number, the marketplace is able to see that and they will protect you. But if you do it off of the platform, like if you get the payment directly through a bank transfer or some other way, then you might ship them their item, and then they might get their money back by contacting their bank or something like that. Or they might have something even more nefarious in mind where they actually get your bank information or whatever. So just be really careful out there. Those are some things to avoid. Other things to look out for when it comes to scammers: if they're offering you significantly more money for the item than you have it listed for, that just doesn't make sense. If your item you have listed for $25 or $100 and, excuse me, can't catch my breath, and then they say, "Hey, I'll give you like $200 for it." Well, that's pretty preposterous. You know, there's something going on there, and chances are they're going to try to scam you. So watch out for that stuff. You're going to get messages like that. The only thing you can do is ignore them. We just ignore those messages. Not much else you can do, unfortunately. It's not like you can just block them, because it's different buyers every time who are doing that. All right, yeah, you did say it's Facebook, so yeah, it is pretty common on Facebook. Yeah, so you just have to ignore them, unfortunately. It's all you can do. EconBiz says he is starting a new eBay account. This is an eBay stealth account. Oops. If I'm using a residential proxy IP, using family member's name, new bank account, but with same address, will it work? Okay, so what are stealth accounts here? So in this case, EconBiz, it looks like he was banned from eBay. That is rare, but it does happen. So if that happens, your account isn't banned, you are banned. So if you try to start a new eBay account, you're not going to be allowed to. eBay will see that it's you and they'll ban your new account as well. And the way they tell it's you, there's a few things they look for. One, they look at your IP address, they look at your phone number, they look at your name, they look at your address, they look at your cookies, like all these things. And if enough of them or certain ones of them match up, they say, hey, we know this is the same seller and we've already banned them, so we're going to ban this new account as well. So the only way to create a new eBay account is with something called a stealth account. A stealth account has all that information is entirely different. So you have a new name, new email, new phone number, new address, new bank information, new IP address, new cookies, new everything. And I wouldn't risk having anything the same. So the same address, no, I don't think that would work. You would have to have all new information. You can get like a virtual address somewhere. All right. Carrot says, since Facebook Marketplace doesn't allow us to duplicate an item that's already sold, how do we sell the same item over and over short of changing photos around and locations? So the first thing is you can have multiple quantities of that item. So when you first list that item for sale, list it up with multiple quantity. That way you can keep selling it. But if an item sells, you can then list that same item for sale. So I don't know. Sorry if you hear the dogs back there. So if the item sells, you can then list up that same item for sale as long as it's not available for sale anymore at that moment. Too many scammers too. Yeah, it is frustrating. So one of the things if you have the shipping option available on Facebook Marketplace, if you don't have it, you should definitely try to unlock that shipping option. That's what will give you that blue button that says buy now. It's definitely going to increase your sales. So try to get that. Most people are just going to get that automatically. If you have that, then pretty much all your sales are going to come directly through that. And you really won't get a lot of messages from the people who are actually buying from you. So it's best just to ignore people who are messaging you and are clearly scammers. If people message you and kind of ask about the item, sure, answer the question, say, okay, you asked for the dimensions, here they are. You asked about delivering the item, this is how we deliver it, we ship it. But generally, if people asking you kind of things we went over before, I would just ignore them. With all the marketplaces, someone asked this before too for eBay. With all the marketplaces, you want to scale slowly. You don't want to add too many items into the marketplace too quickly. So this is true for eBay, Facebook Marketplace as well. If you just come on and list up hundreds of items, they don't like that. They say, okay, who's this person coming out of nowhere, listing up a bunch of items? We don't know them yet. We don't trust them yet. So you got to move slowly. You got to move slowly with listing items, not too many too quickly, so that you kind of prime your account. And then later on, you can be adding more and more items. That's just to kind of protect your account from getting a temporary suspension. Because what will happen is the marketplace will temporarily suspend you until you contact them and verify that you are who you say you are, and then you'll get your account back. All right, similar TV boxes. Hey, Paul, great to see you. Why do so many people ask to pick up things I list, but they are set for shipping only? Yeah, I mean, this is another frustrating thing about Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace traditionally was very similar to Craigslist, where you would list up an item for sale, and if someone wanted it, they would have to meet up with you in person. You would hand them the item, they would hand you cash or maybe through Venmo or something, but it would have to be done in person. So a lot of people still think of it as that. A lot of people don't know that items can be shipped, or they know about it, but don't really understand it. So again, traditionally, if I went onto Facebook Marketplace and searched for something, like let's say I needed a new keyboard, I'd search for the word keyboard. Every item I saw there, I knew would probably be sold by someone who's in within like 25 miles from me or 10 miles from me. So I knew I could always meet up with them in person. So now people, the same thing where they search for the word keyboard, but now they're seeing people who are close by, but they're also seeing the listings that are available for shipping. And that's what we're doing as dropshippers. So those listings are showing up, but the buyers, they don't understand that you might be, half a country away from them. They don't understand that you can't meet up with them in person. So you have to educate them. That's kind of one of our jobs right now as Facebook Marketplace dropshippers, is to educate buyers. Let them know, hey, Facebook has this new shipping feature where a lot of the items being sold are being shipped to customers, and there's no meeting up in person anymore. And you can even tell them where they can see the difference. And tell them, hey, this isn't costing anything extra for shipping, or maybe it is, just tell them how much it is. And then kind of say, hey, if you order it, I'll get it to you within 2 days or whatever it is. And you kind of have to educate them on how that works, because most people just don't understand it at this moment. Another thing you can do is at the top of your listing, say, this item is available for shipping only, no local pickups, something like that. That way they'll see it right at the top of the listing. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right. Someone asks, when Walmart delivers from the store, they don't provide any tracking numbers. How can I mark it as shipped? eBay doesn't allow it. Yeah, you have to upload a tracking number for all your orders on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. So some suppliers sometimes won't provide tracking numbers, like Walmart started doing this. There are ways around this. You have to get a tracking number that's generated. This is something I teach my students how to do. You have to get a real tracking number that you can plug in there that actually shows that it's going to the right place in order for you to get paid. So you do have to do that. You can't just mark it as shipped. George wants to know what I think about drop shipping from Banggood. Banggood, if you're going to drop ship from China, I don't generally recommend it anymore. Drop shipping from China has a whole host of problems, specifically just how long it takes for customers to get their items. So in general, I would recommend you don't drop ship from China, but Banggood does have some warehouses here in the United States, and they're still really good prices. So the reason a lot of people like to drop ship from AliExpress or from other places in China is because the cost of those items are so low. Like you can buy an item for a few dollars and end up selling it on eBay for like $20. The prices on Banggood for the US warehouses are still really good. So if you do want to drop ship from Banggood, you can do it. You'll get those really cheap items that you can sell for, a nice healthy margin in there. But I would only use the US based warehouses to make sure that the customers do get their items quickly. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Thanks for being here. Omar says, hey, Paul, what happens if the Amazon seller doesn't respond and they haven't shipped the product when you're drop shipping from Amazon onto Facebook Marketplace? Yeah, so if you're drop shipping using this method, you're obviously finding items on Amazon, listing them for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and once they sell, you just buy them from Amazon, and Amazon will ship them to your customers for you. Now, if you're drop shipping from Amazon, I really recommend pretty much everyone to only do items that are prime items, because prime items are going to be fulfilled by Amazon, which means that the item is already in Amazon's warehouse. So when you purchase it, Amazon's the one who's going to ship it directly to your customer. And they're on top of their stuff. They have really advanced systems for making sure that the items get to the customers fast. So I really recommend you go that route. So there are sellers on Amazon who aren't doing FBA. And in those cases, when you buy from them, they are going to ship it out themselves from their house or from their own warehouse. And that's running a risk right there, a risk that they're going to take longer to ship your items out and longer for the customer to get the item. So I really recommend you do only items that are fulfilled by Amazon FBA, and those are usually the prime items. All right, Laugh with Kaya. Hope I'm saying that right. Thanks so much for your help. I'm about to open up my eBay store today. I've looked at all your videos and they were very helpful. I also like the AutoDS and other systems you use. Awesome. Yes. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do, because I'll have a ton more videos that I'll be releasing that will hopefully help you out with your eBay store going forward. But of course, I have plenty of ones already for you to check out. Do I still dropship on Amazon? I don't dropship on Amazon. I stopped last year because I was doing too much dropshipping on eBay, Facebook Marketplace. I had this YouTube channel, second YouTube channel, all my students in my courses. So yeah, I just didn't have time after a while. Amazon was kind of the biggest headache. They were giving us a lot of issues, so I dropped that. I will start selling on Amazon again, but I don't think I'll be doing drop shipping this time. And I'll be talking about that on YouTube. All right. Is drop shipping on eBay the best way to start for beginners, says Jessica? eBay is definitely one of the most beginner-friendly places to start, specifically with drop shipping, because it's just like a simple system layered on top of a simple website for beginners. But I really think that right now Facebook Marketplace is even easier, even simpler for beginners. It's even more forgiving, so you can mess up a lot and you'll still be totally fine. It's very beginner friendly, very easy to deal with the customers, and very easy, just simple platform to work with. But there's still a lot of potential to level up there. So you can use a very simple website that they have, but if you're ready to move up, that's available as well if you want it. And just drop shipping is just such a simple way to go about it. I mean, drop shipping, if you're going to use Facebook Marketplace, you can drop ship from retail websites, and there's no rule against that on Facebook at this moment. So you can drop ship from Amazon, from Walmart, from Home Depot, and Facebook doesn't have a problem with that. So that alone makes it a lot easier to work with, because those retail suppliers are just so easy to work with. So I would say that Facebook Marketplace for beginners is probably the easiest place to start, especially if you're doing drop shipping. Elena says, hey, Paul, how would you recommend I go about listing onto an eBay account? It's an old account. It has a high limit, 23,000 items. I haven't used the account in 2 years. How should I use this? Hey, that's awesome. That gives you like a huge advantage right there, but I would still move slowly, okay? If you haven't used that account, just log in a few times, maybe buy something, still move slower. But after a little bit, you see it's going fine. Okay, then you should be fine to kind of go to races with it. But yeah, I would still start out slowly just in case, just be a little bit patient in the beginning, and it's going to save you a lot of headache potentially. All right. Tyler says, do you delete items from your Facebook shops that haven't sold in the past 30 days? If so, what is the easiest way to do it? Because it would be time consuming to go delete one listing at a time. In all of our stores, eBay store, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook shops, if items aren't selling, we delete them. And we do delete them one by one. It really doesn't take that long because we do it every single month. The only time it's going to take you a long time is if you don't do it for a while. And then it's going to take you a long time to sort through them and delete them all. So as long as you stay on top of it and do it every month, it's really not that bad. Or we have a virtual assistant do it. Mark says, hey, Paul, I've been watching your videos. I get a ton more to go. I think I'm ready to post my first one on eBay, first item on eBay after doing some product research. Is there a limit to how many you can post on eBay at a time? Yeah, there is. So first of all, I think it's awesome that you're ready to post your first item. A lot of people, they try to figure out everything before they get started. They might spend a ton of time on product research. But the great thing about drop shipping on these marketplaces is that you can always adapt, okay? You're not really set in stone. With something like Shopify, when you find an item that you want to sell, you have to create a website around that item. It's a ton of work just to get one item listed on the web, on your own website. On eBay though, you find an item, you list it up for sale, it doesn't sell, it's kind of like, so what? It doesn't really cost you anything, or if it does, it's very, very little. And then you could just delete that item later and add some different items. So it really doesn't hurt to just try and start listing up items, right? But eBay does have a limit. Every store has a limit to how many items you can list and sell every single month. You could see that on your seller dashboard. If you're not sure, if you can't find that, you can call eBay and they can tell you. But yeah, that's what you want to look for, because that's going to be your limit. What is the best way to list on Facebook Shops, manually or bulk? Also, does your software do bulk listings on Shops? So Shops is a little bit different from Facebook Marketplace. So let me just quickly explain the difference for people who aren't familiar with it. When you first start selling on Facebook Marketplace, anyone can, you just go over to Facebook, click the Facebook Marketplace icon. It's at the top, or it actually on the left also says Marketplace. And boom, you have access to Facebook Marketplace. You can buy things there. You can list up items for sale. That is Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Shops, you actually have to create a Facebook page for a business, and then that page will have a shop, and any items you add to that shop, if you set it up right, will be pushed to Facebook Marketplace. So you're still selling on Facebook Marketplace, but you're doing it through a shop. And the benefit of a shop is that you can run it through a business, and there's a lot more software that works with it in a fully automated way. So it's really a lot more powerful and a lot more scalable. And for whatever reason, any items we list with the Shops method tend to get more sales than items that are listed directly onto Facebook Marketplace. So Shops is definitely better if you can get to that point. With listing on Facebook Marketplace, there are a few ways to do it, but really the most practical way to do it, if you're listing directly on the Facebook Marketplace, is to list each item one by one manually. And I put manually in quotes here because my team developed a Chrome extension that will copy everything from Walmart, from Amazon, from Home Depot, from AutoDS, and paste it into a blank listing on Facebook Marketplace for you. So it really doesn't take you any time at all. You click one button and it just transfers everything over for you automatically. So it's really, really fast, but you still have to do each listing one by one. On Facebook Shops, which again, you list at the shops and then it gets pushed to Facebook Marketplace. On Shops, there are, again, several ways to list items, but really the only way that I think really makes sense is to do it through a software. So we use FBM Fox. So you add an item into FBM Fox. FBM Fox is connected with Facebook, so then to your Facebook shop. So then any items you add to FBM Fox will automatically get added to Facebook Shops, and then the shop will push it to Facebook Marketplace. And really that's the way for you to list, is through a software like that. This you can do in the settings of eBay, set up automated feedback for customers. You can sell on eBay if you don't live in the United States, but you have to sell on your own eBay. So if you live in the UK, you have to sell on ebay.uk. If you live in Canada, you have to sell on ebay.ca. If you want to sell on ebay.com, then you do need a business here in the United States that you'll set up the LLC or whatever here in the United States, and the eBay store will be under that business. But you have to have all the information that they kind of want from you in order to set up an account. What is this? I have around 3,000 items in my Facebook Marketplace store. Making some sales. Is it safe to start listing eBay? Yeah, you can start listing on eBay. All of the items that are selling well for you on Facebook Marketplace, I would start by listing those items on eBay. We tend to see the general trend is that if items do well on eBay, they'll also do well on Facebook Marketplace and vice versa. There's a lot of overlap there, but it's not 100% overlap. So yeah, I would start by trying that. But again, don't scale up too quickly with your new eBay store. Elena says, I listed 3,000 items with AutoDS, and within 2 weeks, everything was out of stock. Something about that's not right. First of all, I'm not sure why you have, how quickly did you list those 3,000 items? Because you really shouldn't be listing those that quickly. And it's weird that they all went out of stock. You might want to check to make sure that they're actually out of stock. Contact AutoDS and say, this item isn't out of stock and it's being reported as out of stock. It's very possible you have your settings wrong and that it's counting things as out of stock that actually aren't. So AutoDS has settings so that, let's say there's an item that would take a long time to be delivered. Let's say it would take 2 weeks to be delivered to the customer. Well, AutoDS might count that as out of stock because it just takes too long. But you can change those settings yourself. Or you might have a setting in there that says, hey, if the supplier, if Walmart only has 20 of these left, count it as out of stock. And you might want to change that to a lower number. So I would look at your settings on AutoDS, and if they're all correct, I would contact them because that just doesn't make sense. Something is off there. Okay. DB Cooper says, what safe payment methods can you give your virtual assistant so they can fulfill the orders? So virtual assistants are people that we hire to help us remotely run our businesses. Now, virtual assistants can be from anywhere in the world, but a lot of times we hire them from the Philippines, and the cost of living there is lower than the United States. And so they can work on your store because it's fully online. And because it is fully online, they can just run it from their own computers. They don't have to be in your office, sitting next to you, helping you run your business, right? Now, what was the exact question? Yeah, so one of the things the virtual assistants do for us is they'll help us fulfill our orders. You get orders that need to be fulfilled from Walmart.com or HomeDepot.com. They'll do that for you. So the question is, how can they do that safely? Well, really, all these suppliers have your credit card information stored in there. So if you're using wholesale suppliers, they'll have that in their records. All your virtual assistant has to do is email them and let them know what orders to fulfill and where they're going to be shipped to. Every wholesale supplier does it differently. If you're drop shipping from Walmart, Walmart has your credit card information stored. Amazon has it stored as well. You just might have to give them some limited information because sometimes Amazon, for instance, will say, oh, we need to verify your credit card information to make sure that you're not, a scammer trying to steal from this person's account. So they will ask for your credit card information, your credit card number. So you can give your virtual assistant your credit card number because you're not giving them anything else. You're not giving them your billing zip code. You're not giving them your 3-digit code. You're not giving them the expiration date. So without that, they really can't do too much. You could also give them gift cards. So that's what we do with Home Depot. We buy Home Depot gift cards, give them to the virtual assistant, and the virtual assistant will then fulfill the orders using those gift cards. So if they were try to steal from us, the most they're going to steal is the value of the gift card that it give them that day. You know what I mean? So that helps a lot too. But really, it's just about trust. You work with these virtual assistants, you get a feel for how they're working. They want to do a good job. They're not looking to screw you over. They're not looking to scam you in most cases. Yes, there's always bad eggs, but in most cases, they just want a good, steady job and a good boss, and that can be you. You can supply that for them. You just have to work with them, and they have to gain your trust, and then it's a lot easier when you have that trust there. How to increase your selling limits as a beginner on eBay. So I mentioned this before, how accounts all have a limit on the number of items that you can sell. It is annoying, those limits, but they're in place for a reason. eBay wants to make sure that you come on and you can handle all the orders that you get. So they give you these limits. I think it's a bit archaic at this point. No other platform really does that, but eBay does it. Whatever. They can do whatever they want. So those limits do go up as time goes on. So start out by maxing out. List up as many items as you can and sell as many items as you can. So the fastest way to sell items is to list cheaper items. Those are items that people will spend less time thinking about and more time just impulse buying. Do good product research and do good titles, and those items should sell fast. Once they do, call eBay and they should bump up your limit. Every 30 days, you can ask for a new limit increase. You just contact them every 30 days and they should increase your selling limit. And that's really the only way to do it. That's the fastest way to do it. It's a little bit of a grind, but it's really not that bad. You'll see very soon, if you do everything right, you'll have a lot more room than you need. You'll have, your limit will be so high, you wouldn't even be able to hit it. So eventually you'll get to that. Just be patient with the whole process. Yeah, if you're listing up items and they're not selling, not getting views, you do have to be patient, but it's more of a patience with yourself. Do more product research, learn more product research, and title building, title optimization. Those are the two things that most people don't quite get right. And not getting sales is the number one indicator that one of those two things or both of those things are not right, not being done well. So I would make sure that you are learning product research and are learning title optimization and working on those skills, because those are the things that are really going to make a difference. Inside my course, my students, they can all see I spend so much time on those topics because I do think that they are the two most important things when it comes to having a successful eBay dropshipping business. So just make sure you're spending the time to really, really learn how to do those two things. The Darkness says, what about eBay to Amazon? Will eBay send the items I order? I'm not following you 100% there. Generally, I don't recommend that you dropship from eBay to anywhere, just because eBay is a marketplace. So when you're buying from someone, you don't really know who you're buying from. You can see reviews, obviously, that helps a lot, but some sellers might have longer shipping times. They might not ship out the item. You might have issues with them. When you're buying from like Walmart, Home Depot, or Amazon Prime, or a wholesale supplier, you know their reputation. You know that they're going to ship out their items and they're going to ship them out fast, and it's going to be good quality, and generally everything always goes well with those orders. With eBay, you don't really know who you're buying from, and that could be a little bit risky. So it's definitely something you can do and you can try maybe when you're more advanced, but for beginners, I would stay away from that for that very reason. Sports Legend, I got a lot of questions today about limits, listing limits. So I recently signed up for eBay, listed one item, and I've already hit my account limit. What should I do? Well, first check what your limit is. You can do that directly on eBay inside your Seller Hub. See what your limit is. If you listed an item with multiple quantity, that will impact your limit. So let's say your limit's, just to make this easy, 5. You can list up one item with a quantity of 1, one item with a quantity of 1, one item with a quantity of 1. You can list up 5 different items like that. But if you list up one item and you put your quantity as 5, you've just maxed out your selling limit. Okay? So drop your quantity of your items to 1 in the beginning so that you can have more items listed. And then if your limit is 1 for some reason, call eBay, because that shouldn't be correct. And they should raise it right away. Yes, I get the questions from the YouTube chat here. Relax says, AutoDS isn't updating items that are out of stock. It doesn't update price sometimes. Are you still happy with it? I'm happy with it. I use it a little bit differently. I don't use the more automated functions of it. I use it more as a price and stock tracker. But if you have it set up to be fully automated and something isn't working, contact their customer support. I found that their customer support is great and they're always looking to improve their software. So if you contact them and let them know about a problem, they have always responded to me and have always helped to, actually fix the issue. All right, another question, laugh with Kaya. As a beginner, how much should we list an item for? $20 to $50. What do you think? Yeah, so I mentioned this before. As a beginner, you really want to sell cheaper items. And the reason you want to sell cheaper items is they're going to sell faster. People aren't going to think about purchases as much when they are cheaper. If you have like a $300 item, just think about yourself. When you're going to buy a new phone, which, usually costs over $500 now, most people spend like close to $1,000 on a phone, you're going to think about that purchase. You're going to compare different models. Even if you just want an iPhone, you're going to compare different iPhone models, and you're really going to think about that purchase. It's not going to be an impulse purchase, because an impulse purchase is when you're in the grocery store, you're checking out, and they have those little candies right there, right? It's like $1 for like a Snickers bar, or $1 for a pack of gum, right? So you're like, whatever, I'm already spending $170 on groceries or whatever. Let me just throw this on there. What's another $1, right? That's an impulse purchase. You don't really think about it because it is so cheap. That's what you want to aim for in the beginning, because then people aren't going to shop around. They are more likely to buy it, and they're more likely to impulse purchase it. And the more items you sell as a beginner, the better it is for your account, because it's going to allow you to sell up to your limit. And then you can call eBay and say, hey, look, you gave me a limit of 30 and I've hit that limit. I've sold 30 items this month. And they're going to say, you're right. We're going to double your limit. And next month, we're going to double it again, and then double it again, and double it again. So it's really important for that reason. And also, we just see in general that if you have 20 items listed and all 20 of them sell, eBay's algorithm says, wow, this seller knows what they're doing. They list good items that sell fast. So we're going to send them even more traffic, because all eBay cares about is making money for themselves, for their shareholders. And that means that they need to sell more products. And if you're able to do that for them, they're going to send you more traffic. So it is better to list cheaper items. How cheap? As cheap as you can go. I would say under $50 definitely, and really under about $30 when you're starting out. Does that mean you're not really going to make a ton of profit up front at first? Yeah, absolutely. But that's okay, because right now that's the building phase of your store. Okay, the profit can come later. Right now you're just looking to build your store up to have that potential for the future. All right. How long realistically do you think it would take to scale on eBay, Facebook with $300? I mean, a lot of people do that. I didn't have, this is probably how much I had when I started. But I also had a good credit card with a credit limit on there. $300 alone, it is going to take you a little bit of time, because you're only going to have $300 to fulfill orders. Then you have to stop orders until you actually get paid by eBay or Facebook. Then you can pay off the card and then use that money to buy the next items that are purchased. So that would be a little bit of a slow grind at first, but I don't think it would be too bad. It would just, but really would help to have a credit card. All right, let's talk about this, because I've seen a lot of people talk about this, like other gurus and YouTubers. Mina says, what do you think about making posts on the Facebook page connected to your shop? Does it have any bearing on the algorithm to get more eyes on your shop? So we talked about shops before, right? You have to, in order to create a Facebook shop, you have to create a Facebook page for your business. And then within that page, there is a shop. So if you've never looked at a Facebook page, any celebrity usually has them, any business usually has them. So you can go kind of check out what they're like. It's just like a page about them that kind of represents that brand. That's helpful when it is a big brand that people are actually looking for and care about and want to interact with. But for what we're doing, that really doesn't matter. All we care about, really, where most of your sales are going to come from, is from Facebook Marketplace. Because remember, again, any items posted in your Facebook shop, if you set it up right, will be pushed to Facebook Marketplace. So Facebook Marketplace is where the sales are coming from. You don't have to get people to visit your page or your shop. They're buying directly on Facebook Marketplace. They're finding your items through the Facebook Marketplace search. So some people say that you should use your Facebook page, post things up on there, add content to it. I don't see that has ever helped. I don't see in theory why that would help, and in practice, I haven't seen it help. Okay? It just doesn't make sense to me, because that is not how people are finding your items. They're not finding it through your page or through your shop. They're finding it through Facebook Marketplace. So all I concentrate is setting up this system and then adding the items, the right items, with good product research and good titles. And that is all I've cared about. Hey, what is up, Zach? Thanks for being here. Yeah, the Animal Farm Sanctuary is really, really cool. I definitely recommend anyone to go check one out if you haven't been to one. The YouTube Live, Daniel says, deserves more likes. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I agree. 65 people watching, only 22 thumbs up. So let's see if we can get a few more thumbs up before this closes out. We still got a few minutes. This is where you ask the questions, right here. All right. Mark says, when drop shipping from Walmart onto eBay, does eBay send you the payment to your bank or to your PayPal? Also, do you think it's okay to use PayPal to fulfill the orders? They'll send it to your bank account. They used to send it to PayPal. They got rid of that a few years ago. Now it's sent directly to your bank account. But if you have money in your PayPal account, you can definitely use PayPal to fulfill your orders. Lots of suppliers take PayPal, including Walmart. So you can definitely fulfill it with Walmart. You just got to have the money in there or a credit card in there. Oh, man. Keep on keeping on. Sorry to hear that, man. Really sorry to hear you got ripped off. Yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, unfortunately, I've heard of a lot of people just getting scammed by different people. I've made videos about this in the past. It's just really, really terrible thing to hear. The biggest scam I see in this kind of arena, and I'll make more videos about this because my thoughts have kind of evolved on this as it goes on, as time has gone on. The biggest scam in this kind of dropshipping e-com arena right now, and it's been this way for a while, is around automation accounts. So there are businesses out there that promise you that if you pay them money up front, usually a large sum of money, $15, $20, $25, $40, $50,000 up front, they will set up for you a fully automated e-commerce business. And that's usually either on Amazon or Shopify. Walmart, they used to do, they don't really do that anymore. Usually just Amazon and Shopify are the two big ones. Be very careful with those, because a lot of these businesses will just take your money and you will get nothing. They will promise you they're working on it. They'll say, oh, something happened, it slowed us down. They'll tell you, you forgot to submit us these documents, so we're being slowed down even more. Give you excuse after excuse after excuse, or they'll even start your store, but things aren't really going anywhere. You're not really making any money with it. And they say, oh, just give it time, be patient, and nothing ever comes out of it. And then you're out tens of thousands of dollars. I've seen this happen to a lot of people. Now, just like with every kind of business like this, there are legitimate people doing this, right? They're really putting a lot of hard work into it. But a lot of people are piggybacking off of that. A lot of people are piggybacking off of that and just flat out ripping you off and scamming you. So be super careful with it. I think if you want to start an e-commerce business, try to do it yourself at first. I don't think it's as hard as you probably think it is, especially if you're doing dropshipping, which is so simple, and doing it on a marketplace like eBay or Facebook Marketplace, where it's just so beginner friendly. I think you'll be able to be successful with that. Don't sell yourself short there. But if you are going to go with the automated route, just be super careful with it, because there's so many people piggybacking off of the success that some of these companies are giving to their customers, and will just flat out run away with your money. And a lot of them are in other countries where you don't really have much recourse. It's going to be very hard to get that money back. So be careful there. All right, great question from Marjorie Taylor. I am currently training a few virtual assistants. I am searching for one to hire. How do I choose the best one when each has their own strengths? Should I pick the one who uses the best titles, prices, etc.? Tell me, LOL. Hiring a virtual assistant can be a very empowering moment, but it is scary because you are now taking on additional responsibility that costs money. But I'm telling you, it's one of the best things that you can do for your business. It will really, really help free up more time for you to concentrate on running your business and scaling it up while they run your business. So when it comes to hiring, my general recommendation is you want to find one superstar virtual assistant. I used to believe that every account needed multiple virtual assistants to run it. That was flawed logic. Okay, flawed logic in the past. The best way to run an eBay account, Facebook account, Amazon account, I don't care what it is to have one superstar virtual assistant. That virtual assistant should be able to list items, fulfill orders, do customer service, everything, or at least enough of it, and then you can teach them the rest. That is what you want, because that helps keep everything so much more organized. You won't have two different people doing two different things that are bumping heads without them even realizing it. This one virtual assistant will know the in and outs of your entire store and be able to help things run smoothly because they do know everything going on. So look for that one superstar virtual assistant, and you're not going to get it right the first time. Probably not. Do your best. Interview a lot of virtual assistants. Give them some tasks to try. Exactly what you're doing, Marjorie. Have them try making titles. Try pricing your items. Try doing product research. And pick the one that's doing the best, but also one that you have a really good rapport with. If one's talking with you a lot, asking a lot of questions, and really seems interested in helping you and making your life easier, then that is a good virtual assistant to work with. Because even if they're not the best, they will be very trainable. They seem eager to learn more. And that is what you want. And you might not get it right the first time, right? You might have to then go back to the drawing board and do the whole hiring process again. And that's okay, because it's a learning process for you as the employer, so to speak. But it is well worth it when you find that one superstar virtual assistant. It makes a huge difference. Any solution for the grayed out buy now button? This sometimes happens if you just got your account approved for after you've hit your after you submitted like your social security number information to Facebook Marketplace. It usually comes back. You can also try contacting Facebook and they'll make it available to you. Okay, good suggestion, Mina. I will look into that about the pictures issue with Facebook Shops, Facebook Marketplace. My pleasure. Let's see. Okay, I already have a Facebook page with a huge audience. Can I convert it to a Facebook shop? It's not a conversion. You'll just make a Facebook shop for that page. That's more than fine to do. And some people believe that if you have an established Facebook page, that it's more likely that your shop will get approved. So give it a shot. Give it a shot, and I think you'll see that the shop will get approved, and it should be fine. Can you push your eBay products to Facebook Marketplace / shops? Not that I know of. The only reason I'm thinking about this is because there is a way to integrate Shopify with Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops, but I don't know if you can do a train like eBay to Shopify, Shopify to Facebook Marketplace. I don't think something like that exists, but I could be wrong about that. Yeah. But yeah, there is a way. If you create a Shopify store, this is kind of an extra step that isn't really necessary. You can create a Shopify store, add products to that, and that can be connected with your Facebook Marketplace account. And then any changes you make on Shopify will happen on Facebook Marketplace. The only reason you'd want to do that is if you want it to be fully 100% automated. You can use Shopify with AutoDS. AutoDS will list the items into Shopify. Shopify will push them to Facebook Marketplace, and then any sales will be sent backwards as well, and then AutoDS could auto-fulfill them. But the connection between Facebook Marketplace and Shopify is a little bit tricky to set up, and a lot of people have a lot of issues with it. So it's not really the easiest thing to do there. Do I run promotions and sales on shops? I don't think they're necessary right now. So for instance, like on eBay, I sold on eBay for years and years without doing promoted listings, and it just wasn't necessary. Just the traffic organically was fine. And then we needed to do promoted listings. And that's where we kind of are with Facebook Marketplace and shops. We don't need to do any sort of sales or promotions at this time, so we're not doing it. We do both shops and marketplace, but we're mostly concentrated on shops because it just works better. In general, during the summer, you're going to see a slowdown in sales. Just things tend to slow down during the summer, but usually getting closer to back to school, they'll pick back up. Mark wants to know, when is the ideal time to set up an LLC just for dropshipping? And how would you set it up as far as category or naming goes? So first, legal disclaimer, you should definitely talk to a lawyer about this because everyone's situation is individual and they will be able to look at your your needs, your wants, where you are with your life, and make a more informed decision that's tailored fit to your needs. Okay, so this is not legal advice, basically. So when you should set up an LLC, most people do not set up an LLC when they first start selling products online. They just do it as an individual. It's just simple like that, and just they want to get up and running and kind of verify that it does work. But for me, that's what I did. And then once I saw that, hey, this is actually working, we're actually making money with this, after about 6 months or so, I said, okay, now it's time to set up an LLC. And that's what I did. I lived in New York at the time, so I set it up in New York. Now, you don't have to pick the name for your for your LLC, you can make it whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. Every state might have requirements about what you can and can't name it. It might require you to put the word LLC or a limited liability company in there. So you have to, again, another reason to talk to a lawyer or do some research on it. But the name can be whatever you want. I suggest keeping it very general. That way you can kind of have multiple businesses running underneath it. Because for the category, a lot of states like New York, it will ask you in the formation documents saying, what is the purpose of this business? Why are you setting it up? And what I did in New York was I put down, this business exists for any and all legal purposes, which is extremely vague and vague on purpose. That, as far as I knew, was allowed. And it basically said, we're going to do whatever we want with this business. We're going to run any legal business underneath this business. So I was able to run my eBay dropshipping, my Amazon dropshipping, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Shops underneath that LLC because it existed for any and all legal purposes. You see what I mean? And that way it kind of covers you if you want to expand in the future. But again, consult with an attorney about that. Manual or software listing, both. I believe that you should list items so they appear to be manual, so that eBay and Facebook Marketplace, they don't know you're using software. But there is software that will do that. So my Chrome extension specifically does this. What the Chrome extension will do is you press, once you have it installed and set up, you could be on like Walmart, looking at a listing, you press a button on the page that's put there by the Chrome extension, and it will automatically list it onto Facebook for you. It will just copy everything, paste the images in Facebook Marketplace, paste the title, paste the description, mark up the price. So it looks like it's being done manually, but it's really being done automatically with this software. All right. All right, so unfortunately, that is where we have to end it for today. I know I didn't get to all the questions. I apologize for that, but we always run out of time when it comes to these Q&As. So if you want your question answered, make sure to come right away during my next live Q&A. I do them every Tuesday at 4 p.m. If you want to be reminded about it, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. You'll get alerted before that live happens. You can jump on, ask your question right away. So I'll see it right there at the top and be able to answer it for you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you want to learn more about eBay dropshipping, down below is a link to my course, my eBay dropshipping course. You can sign up for it, learn all you need to know about dropshipping on eBay. If you want to learn about Facebook Marketplace, my course for that is currently closed, but you can get on the wait list by downloading the free Facebook Marketplace dropshipping ebook I have down below. You'll get that ebook instantly, and you'll get on the wait list for the course. I do open it a couple of times a year, and if openings, sometimes I have a few openings that come in, and you can jump on that when that opportunity comes up. So thanks so much for hanging out, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.